what's the wordy? I'm at the park with my kinfolk. Oh, bro. I wanted to talk about letting go. Pisces season right now. Start of Pisces season, really early stages, early degrees, and letting go is something that's coming up a lot, especially because we're about to get into spring too. You know, the weather been getting warmer. Um, but it's still February. It's 70 degrees in February. It's just to show you like where the Earth is going. Um, Exciting times, but one of the most important things and the most impactful things that I learned and still practice today on my journey is letting go. So like, man, letting go is like one of the most beautiful things you can do. It's one of the most humbling, most empowering, and really just crucial things you can do on your spiritual journey. Because letting go is really like the birth of a new you. So letting go is really like the last step on your healing journey too. Because once you've gone through the grief, the processing, you know, the coping, the healing, you know, the cycles, you get to a point where like the emotion, it doesn't even, or the cycle or whatever it is, like it doesn't even affect you the same way as it used to. And that's how you know like you're ready to let go. Um, when the emotion or feeling or whatever still triggers you and still causes you to like leak unnecessary emotional energy, then you haven't fully sat with this emotion. You haven't fully processed it. You haven't fully felt it and learned it and loved it and understood it and merged and become one with it and integrated it. But once you get to a phase where like you are completely comfortable with this emotion or feeling or place or person or situation or phase, like your spirit will get to a point where it feels like, no, I need something different. Like I'm ready for something different. And it's a feeling. You feel it. You know it's coming. You know it's like, you know it's time for a change. And the deeper you get into yourself, you start realizing that you have certain cycles and that there's cycles within cycles. Even when you think about the planets, like in the solar system, like there's cycles that certain planets have, that like there's orbits, and like there's like smaller orbits within those larger orbits. And then even when you go outside our solar system, like our galaxy is orbiting, then you have like star systems, and this, man, like who we are as beings is so much more expansive than what we've been indoctrinated with. But that's only something that you could find by going inside yourself. And the only way that you go inside yourself is by letting go of the external world. So I'm gonna tell you a story. I remember the first time I really let go. like truly. And this was like, I'll never forget this. So I was on acid. Don't do drugs, but if you do them, be very responsible and intentional. Intentional. But anyway, I was on acid and I was peaking, and I'm in this field, and I'm listening to some music, super emotional, but like it's purging. It's purging, and it's like you ever know, especially the first few times you're on acid, man, the visuals, the visuals are so fucking crazy, and you could literally just get lost in the world of the visuals, which is part of the purpose of acid. So I'm in the middle of this field, and I'm like, man, I don't want to let go. I don't want to close my eyes. What if somebody happens? What if something happens? What needs? So many worries and like negative thoughts and shit. But then another voice is like, bro, if something was supposed to happen to you, it's gonna happen, and there's not really much you can do to prevent it. So it's like, you might as well just be present. You might as well just be here and let go. And man, I was like, fuck it. And I just closed my eyes, laying down in the middle of this field where anybody or anything could have happened. And it felt like dying, because it's like, I realized, like, man, I'm helpless. Like, if something happens, I can't do anything about it right now. But the deeper I surrendered to that feeling, it's like, I started feeling like peace and clarity that I never, ever felt in my life. And slowly by slowly, I just started letting go of like everything, like all worries, all fears, all doubts, all like even just this world in general. Like I literally just melted into myself and forgot that this outside world even existed. And when that happened, I went into myself. This is the purpose of meditation, of prayer, of any of these spiritual practices, is to go into yourself. It's to implode on yourself. But when I did this, bro, it's like I was in outer space, but like I'm inside my body, and I'm seeing all these lights, and it's like literally the most beautiful, profound, chaotic, but at the same time like cathartic experience ever. And I start crying, but I'm not crying because like I'm sad. I'm crying because, bro, I fucking made it to heaven. And it's like, it wasn't what I thought what I thought it was at all. It was just like, there wasn't anything to do. There was literally just presence, like just pure presence. And I'm just there with myself. And it's like, man, that's the first time I ever really let go. And I was meditating before that, but then that's when meditating took on a whole different meaning for me. Because when I would meditate, it's like I would literally go into myself so deeply that the outside world wouldn't even exist to me anymore. Like, I could still be hearing the sounds and feeling the sensations and know I'm here, but like, I'm safe in my body to know that like I could be inside myself right now. So that was the first few times I started letting go. And then like I started realizing how much nature raises your vibration and impacts you. So I started going into nature and just being in nature, like fuck the phone, fuck whatever else I got going on, just be in nature. And I started getting lost in nature and realizing like that nature is a whole world in itself. And like, man, especially when your vibration is high, you come into nature, the animals and the environment will react to you, and you really start to learn yourself. And take off your shoes, put your feet in the grass, your ground, cuddle up with a tree, get into it with yourself. You know me? So So and as you like take off your shoes and stuff when you start relaxing, like there's gonna be so many worries and things trying to keep you chained to the matrix. Like, man, what if people watch? What if people are looking? What if it's bugs? What if I get dirty? Blah blah blah. But bro, you stop giving a fuck, because you like really start to get in yourself and really start to be secure and comfortable with yourself and know that like this is what I need. I need some nature right now. I need to ground, and I need to hug a tree. I need to just be vibing with with the nature spirits and shit right now. So, you know, you start doing that, and your life starts changing. Anyway, your life starts changing because your vibration is getting lighter. You're starting to let go of all the baggage, all the density, all the lower vibrational things holding you back. And even though you're still in this world, it's like now you are able to better manage and regulate your emotional reactions, which gives you like more presence and more peace and more clarity and calm. And um, the more I started doing this, I came upon this meditation one time called the Ho'oponopono, something like that, meditation. And basically what you do, you center yourself, you breathe, and you repeat this over and over again. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And you just repeat that over and over and over again. And at first, you're going to be like, what's the point of this? But the more you keep doing this, first of all, you're going to start to get comfortable with how your voice sounds and the vibration of your voice, and how comforting and healing your voice is, right? Especially when you are really speaking your true tone. So as you keep doing this, you're going to start getting more confident with your voice. And you're also going to be able to like even have a easier time being in these vibrations. You're gonna have an easier time when you need to apologize to somebody. You're gonna have an easier time when you need to thank somebody. You're gonna have an easier time when you need to love somebody. And you're gonna have an easier time when you need to be forgiven, when you're asking for forgiveness or even forgiving somebody. And what this does is it puts you at a vibration where you become comfortable with uncomfortable things. And life starts like, it's not a burden anymore. It's more like opportunity. It's like, man, I have the ability, or I have the opportunity to grow and expand today. I'm grateful. And the more that you keep doing this, bro, you stop viewing the past as like, man, this happened to me, so that means I can't do this, or this happens to me and I wish it didn't. You stop regretting things, and you start like really being super grateful, because you actually like, as you get into yourself and you stop looking at yourself through the eyes of the world, like you start really being so grateful, because you really are able to view your life from an objective point of view and really understand like who you are, why you exist, why the things happen to you, your karma, like your patterns, your relationships, your family, your friendships, your security, your stability, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual and physical health. Like you really start knowing yourself and loving yourself And the more you keep going, you think like it's your job to gain more information, constantly learn and constantly expand. But then you start fucking realizing like, damn, like, no, it's actually the more things that you could let go of, bro, that's the more that you will prosper. And it's deep because you start becoming so generous. And it's not generous like out of a place of like wanting anything back. It's just like, man, like I have it right now and I want to share it with somebody. But eventually you do get to a point where you're like, damn, like, why does nobody around me have what I have, and why am I constantly in a position of giving so much and not receiving? And then like you realize like, damn, because it's time for you to move to a different space. It's time for you to expand to a different environment or to create something new. And that's where you have to let go of everything that you gained during that cycle. And when I say let go, I don't mean let go as in like a lot of people, the idea of detachment and letting go that is being pushed right now, that's not what it really is. Detachment and releasing things and letting go is actually integrating it into yourself and understanding that this thing is you and was you and will always be you. And you cannot run away from it because it's you. So you integrate it. So now you don't have any problems with dealing with it. If it were to appear back in your reality, you wouldn't be happy or sad. You wouldn't be mad or glad. Like, you would just be neutral and you would just flow with it how it comes because you understand that everything in this universe is a reflection of you, reminding you who you are. So when like people talk about releasing things, it's not about like you running away from it or you abandoning it, which is a cycle I was constantly getting caught up in, and a cycle that a lot of people get caught up in, where they abandon themselves. So then, like, when something gets difficult, they'll just abandon it. And what they don't realize is like that thing will always haunt you and it will always show up in another form because it's a part of you. And it's not like detachment doesn't mean that you just escape from a problem, because the problem is going to follow you and it's going to chase you if you run away from it. Detachment is the fact that you don't deal with the problem from the same way that you've been dealing with the problem. You deal with the problem from a higher perspective. So you detach your ego from it and you allow your higher self to work and to allow something different to happen. And this is what letting go does, because when you start letting go, you'll start to realize that there is forces and things operating that are way higher than you that like would love it if you became aware of them, and would love it if you honored them and like um, moved more in harmony and alignment with your true self and who you truly are, rather than who you think you are or who you've been conditioned to be. And that takes a lot of um, trust. It takes a lot of humility. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of trial and error. It takes a lot of failure. It takes a lot of pain. But man, it's the most rewarding thing, because you start to build a connection with yourself in a way that you are able to do anything, because like you really start to understand how to manifest, how to create, how to open a portal, how to close a portal, like how to bring in more abundance when you need it, how to like establish boundaries when you need them, how to really create reality. Like, you start really understanding this stuff and really practicing it and being one with it in your everyday life. And then you start to really view everything as a blessing, truly. And that is what starts to upgrade your life. Because then, like, demons aren't even demons anymore, the way that you think about demons. They're just parts of you that you need to integrate that will only add to your life and add to your experience. And, like, you start having fun with life. Like, even when you're going through some hard things, some dark stuff or situations, it's like you still find a light in it. And you start, this is what they call being enlightened is in the fact that you can find light in any situation. And not light meaning jokes, but that could be it. But I mean light meaning like you know how to use the situation to benefit you. And you really start becoming a divine being, understanding the balance and the flow between light and dark, like the cyclical nature of the universe. And the next step is into actually creating a reality, like truly. That's when you know, like, you're truly sovereign, like you've gained enough lessons. And it's not like the lessons are gonna stop. Actually, the lessons are gonna intensify because you need to grow as a being. But the thing is that, like, now you have a foundation within yourself to where, like, you actually trust yourself, and you have, whenever anything comes up or goes wrong or goes left or whatever, like, you have a place to return to within yourself where you know everything is possible. And no matter what happens, there's always a part of you that can make any situation good, no matter what's happening, that could turn anything around, that could manifest anything, and that could really accomplish any possibility and bring that shit into existence. And that's like what Pisces is really all about, is the fact that you let go of your ego and you allow things beyond you to work through you. And that's part of what makes Pisces so powerful. It's like the deepest part of our subconscious mind, which is divine, but it's also like the most chaotic, confusing, place. But like, when you can use Virgo, which is analyzation and organization and practicality, but still thinking, you can use that to like help compartmentalize. That's the word a lot of people use to help compartmentalize your that part of your subconscious. Like, man, that's when you manifest reality, because you really, like, this is the pattern, right? You go through things, and these things are revealing parts of you that you are not aware of. But the part of you that's trying to be made aware is a part that will progress you to the next step. And it might take you years to integrate this part of you, or it might take you a day, or it might take you like a couple months. But when you really start to understand this, it's like, man, life really just becomes a beautiful flow, and you just are truly grateful. Big love, trust, gratitude, cash flow, opportunities, expansion, boundaries, forgiveness, release, intimacy, vulnerability, communication, connection, harmony. And free.